I introduce Exhibit A. Okay.
All right, let's
so
hear
the
it.
government says, we know it's North Korea. They're using the same, John can tell you the real words, portals, ISPs, etc. that previous attacks that came from North Korea also used.
When they attacked
IP
the South
addresses.
Korean banks.
Yes.
Right. And so, and they lay out a couple of other circumstantial pieces of evidence that if you're just reading, you go, that's pretty persuasive, right? And so, and again, I'm probably wrong. I mean, it is the entire FBI saying it's definitely the North Koreans, right? On the other hand, probably the best known hacker in America is a guy named Sabu, okay? And he did some of the top hacks in the history of the country and then flipped and now works for the government, okay? Because he got caught and he's like, okay, what do you guys
take
need?
the deal.
I'll take the deal, right? Sabu came out and said, it ain't the North Koreans, okay? He said, look, in order to do this kind of attack, because the data, among the reasons is there's so much data. First of all, there's a couple of different reasons why. He says, the North Koreans, if this much data went through the one pipe they have basically for the internet, right, is a way of referring to it. He's like, it would take down the entire North Korean internet. They don't have that capability, right? So that's point number one. Point number two, much more importantly, is this kind of hack takes a long time. So it might take up to a year. It would certainly take months.
But how does
so
he
they would
know?
have had to plan this hack so far in advance. And he's like, there's just so many parts of the story that don't add up. I don't know the details of that because I'm not a dork like John.
How could he possibly know? How could anybody really know the capabilities of the North Korean government? They're like so shrouded more than any other government across the world. Just because we know that their citizens don't have access to a huge internet infrastructure, we don't know what their government
Or
knows.
it could have been conducted in a different country by North Korean operatives.
So that's right,
Yeah.
of course. And he's saying that
been happening in China.
if they did it, they certainly did it in China. They did not do it in North Korea. So which then implicates might implicate the Chinese government.
We already implicate the Chinese when anything comes to
everything
North Korea.
Yeah.
But don't misunderstand. I get it. They don't want to feed their people, but they're inept. That's partly what this is.
No, you have to be really skilled to keep that many people impoverished and in the dark.
It's also comparatively.
They've managed this cult of personality for 3 generations.
Yeah,
now.
that's not ineptitude.
But then that's the only thing they're good at. They can't even. Their missiles launch and land in North Korea. Like they don't. This is not a land of.
It's a different way to focus your assets. If you're not good at doing large military industrial things, maybe a better way to do it is to do cybersecurity military.
That's right. And so let's be fair and present the other side. As Kara's pointing out, I've read now a number of articles, including a really good one on Vox, about how they have this Bureau 121 and they train the guys in Russia and China and other places and they deploy them in other countries. And it's actually the most prestigious thing in North Korea. And they had a group of 500. It's now 3,000 and they get these special houses. And the whole thing sounds like the Hunger Games, by the way. Yeah. They're in the Capitol and then et cetera. But having said all that, I'm still not buying it. Okay, I will stick with this to the end. The North Koreans could not possibly be this capable. They're not.
If it was another terrorist group, they would have already stepped up and said we were responsible for this.
And so as I was reading Sabu's explanation, which I'm not sure I've done justice to, I thought there's someone. This took a lot of time and effort, a ton of time and effort, because we can't even figure out who did it, right? They're really sophisticated. This is as sophisticated as it gets. Someone who had a huge financial interest in this.
False
flag. Right there, it had to be somebody who was going to somehow make a ton of money in order to invest all this time and effort into it.
What other movies are coming out that day?
Unbroken, goddamn Angelina Jolie.
There have been speculations for weeks, and just today they said we have enough evidence now to say publicly as the FBI that this was the North Korean government that was responsible, but we're not going to tell you much more than these 3 bullet points as to why.
And my final points are, look, it's not a false flag operation. The FBI didn't do it, right? But at the same time, it does help everybody. This narrative helps everybody. So the North Koreans get to say, like, yeah, of course. Oh, you better watch it. And by the way, they haven't even taken responsibility. But they've
praised it though.
But they've praised it, and they're like, yes, you should be wary of us. Watch out what we can do, right?
It'd be like, yes, wary of us you should be. Watch us, we can do damage. You too.
North Korea is now Yoda.
The North Korean Yoda, right? And then you turn on TV and everybody's screaming, cybersecurity, cybersecurity. Dianne Feinstein was on CNN this morning saying we have to watch out for the North Koreans, the Chinese, the Iranians, the Russians, and also the people inside the country, inside this country. So that also helps their narrative. So there's a lot of winners here.
These are real issues, and these are national security threats, and we should be talking about them.
I know, but they never actually get the job done in things like this when we need them. But they do use it as an excuse to spy in on all of our computers.
That's right. By the way, again, I should point out, I've seen the movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous. Do you have a
Was
copy
it the
that I can
greatest movie
come see?
ever?
Please tell me it just wasn't that good.
It was pretty funny
Damn it.
until they wronged Kim Jong-un. They disrespected a really great man. No, it's pretty funny. It's
We're all
not-
safe here in the TYT
Yeah.
studio.
It's pretty funny. It's ridiculous that it would actually offend anyone.
Yeah.
You know, and in fact, the parts that about killing him at the end are kind of immaterial. The cool thing was that as part of the plot is that they realize they don't have to assassinate him; they'll just humiliate him, and that will show the Korean people that these things
not a
were the truth.
god.
Like he's not a god.
Hey,
He can't bowl-
spoiler alert! I was gonna watch it. Oh wait.
I'm going to watch it.
He doesn't bowl a 300 game every time.
He does poop.
Yeah, he does poop.
does have to
He does in fact have an ass.
So are you a
Quite
little
an ass.
afraid right now because you're among like the 50 people in the world who have seen it?
Yeah.
So like that the North Koreans might say,
You now have state secrets.
yeah, we must now deal with Mankiewicz.
But I don't have a copy of it, but I could describe it. to
Yeah.
people.
Sony has agreed to eliminate all evidence that ever existed. Your evidence.